Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, we are talking about The Runner. So, this is a 2022 short horror film. This film follows the story of a strange woman who travels to a secluded rural town where her violent compulsions are slowly revealed. This is a film that I watched on Shudder. It is under the queer horror film category if you are looking to watch it. Now, this film, it says on there that it is, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, boy harsher film, which is something that I had to look into. Wasn't really sure exactly who or what that was or what that meant, and they are actually a musical duo, which makes for this film to be very, very interesting, because now bands have kind of done the concept of turning a music video into a short film before. Taylor Swift's All Too Well, she turned into a 10-minute short film. This one is a bit longer than that, and definitely I feel like different than what bands have done before. I know we're talking about horror, so it's a little bit weird to bring up Taylor Swift, but it is kind of in that same like concept where you have these characters who are acting. It is a film, and then music just happens to be a very large part of it and help further along the story and tell the story. But this one is also still very much different, not only in the fact that it is quite a bit longer. The runtime is about 40 minutes, but I'd say the film aspect of itself is about 30 minutes, with the last 10 or so minutes, the lead singer of the band is talking about the runner and the character, and then it goes into more of a music video part towards the end where they're kind of like doing the whole song. But we're just going to be talking about kind of the first 30 or so minutes of the film. One thing that definitely I feel like sets this film apart, and is something that I didn't even really realize initially, is the lack of dialogue in this film. Our main character does not speak a word through the entire film, which is something that I did start to notice kind of early on. Like, okay, she doesn't have any lines, that's cool, but really nobody else does either. Our band members, I think, have like a line of dialogue each. Maybe our lead singer having like 2 lines. There's like a director, producer that has a line at one point. Now, there is a few scenes where a TV is playing, which the band is actually playing on this TV program, which is also cool. And there's like a announcer that has a few lines. And then there are scenes where the runner, she does not have a name, just referred to as the runner throughout this. There are a few scenes where she is on the phone with somebody that is telling her, like, you don't have to do this, you can come home. So there's a couple of moments of dialogue throughout this film that other characters have, but it's not a lot, and it's mainly the music playing throughout this film that really like is the driving force and kind of leads the story, so much to the point that I didn't even really notice the lack of dialogue until pretty far into the film, and I was like, oh, there's really like nobody talks in this film, which I think was so fucking cool. And I was just very much enjoyed this film, very much impressed by it. And if you are not new to the channel, you know that when it comes to kind of like artsy films, like they tend to not be like my go-to. I obviously like my cheese, but this one I felt like wasn't trying too hard, I guess, and wasn't trying too much to be like elevated horror. We can do a whole nother thing talking about that term, which I actually have done a video talking about that term on my TikTok, so you should follow that because I post a lot of horror content on there as well. But anywho, back to the film. But I think that's why I'm able to enjoy this one, because it's doesn't feel like it's trying too hard. Now, one major note within this film is the very beginning of it opens with this character running through the woods, and she is just in a oversized white t-shirt and sneakers covered in blood, and it very much reminded me of The Last House on the Left, where you have this female presenting character running through the woods covered in blood, and it does very much have that same like 70s feel. I don't think the film is meant to be like set in the 70s, but it just has that very kind of like old school grainy shot feeling. I think you guys, I mean, if you've watched 70s horror, you get what I'm talking about, and especially if you've watched like the original Last House on the Left, it has that kind of dark feeling to it, but instead of her being the victim, she is the one creating victims, and I just love that. I don't know if that was done on purpose by the band, or if that's just something that I personally connected to it, but it gave me that feel, and that just added to it, and I really enjoyed this. And again, another short film. Don't really know what happened here. I just ended up reviewing 2 short films this week, which I was kind of okay with. So if you have seen this, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content. Before I go, a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thank you so much for helping to contribute to the channel. If you would like to know the perks to being a Patreon, links are in the description below, along with all of my social media. And I will see you all again later with another video. Bye!